Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you're having a wonderful Friday evening. I'm Derek Dunn. Thanks very much for joining me here on this Friday. And tell you what, guys, it's move the camera right here for a little bit here. I feel like it was like a little bit off center. That's fine. Hope you guys have had a wonderful week. Hope you guys having a wonderful Friday and a good start to your weekend. So thanks for joining me here. We was going to try to do this at 7, but things came up and had to push it back a little bit. But let's talk some weather here, why don't we? As if you recall earlier this week, I did a preview of this upcoming weather event, and I said, don't fall for the clickbait. Don't, for on social media and all that. Let's wait and see what details emerge as we get closer to Sunday. By the way, also Facebook, the stream is public as well. And so I know some of you may have some questions out there about this. And if you have any questions, post on the live chat. There may be some questions I may not answer because obviously I may not have that information or something that just, haven't really thought too much about. But we'll look into it for you a little bit later on. But let's go ahead and get down here to the skinny, and that is we do have the possibility of severe weather. So as you can see right there, this is what the Storm Prediction Center released this morning. As you can see, we do have a pretty big area of enhanced risk for severe weather. And that includes all of southern Illinois, southeastern Missouri, southwestern Indiana, western Kentucky, multiple states, Arkansas, Mississippi, northwestern Alabama, Tennessee, western edge of Ohio. And so there's also a slight risk as well. But obviously, what really jumps out at you is the enhanced risk with slight risk for sure. So this is a weather event that, if you think about it, it's going to affect a lot of people, a lot of cities that could be potentially be impacted by this. And so let's go ahead and break it all down here for you. So I do have some information. I'm going to leave this up there because I want to talk about this here. So let's talk about for us here in our region, and this is for us here in southern Illinois, southeastern Missouri, southwestern Indiana, western Kentucky. So we have the possibility of strong tornadoes, very large hail up to golf ball size or larger, widespread damaging winds, 60 to 80 mile per hour gust. And so what's going to happen here is on Sunday, a powerful weather system will move across the Midwest, bringing a cold front through our region. Warm, humid air will surge north, making the atmosphere unstable. Strong winds aloft will help fuel the development of intense supercell storms. So let's talk about the timing and storm evolution of this. So on Sunday morning, this is one of the things that I've been looking into and been thinking about a little bit. A few early storms are possible, especially near and north of the Ohio River. Now, that could be a factor later on for storm development. We do have a good chance of rain tomorrow on Saturday, but it doesn't matter because Sunday is the day to where we're going to keep an eye on it. So these storms, if they were to form on Sunday morning, could bring some hail and gusty winds. But the main concern is how they impact later storms. So these storms that are going to be in the afternoon, evening, are they going to have a lot of juice? They're going to have a lot of energy. So Sunday afternoon and early evening, if the morning storms, is a big word, if the morning storms move out of our area quickly, we could expect explosive storm development. And so storms will begin as isolated supercells ahead of the cold front. Now, they will pose the highest risk for tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. And so locations along and south of I-64, Evansville, Mount Vernon, Illinois, Cape Girardeau, and Paducah will have the greatest risk for long track tornadoes. Now, for Sunday night, a squall line will form along the cold front, bringing widespread damaging winds and also the possibility of embedded tornadoes, as I've talked about before. And that is, I've said it before again, that if you have a line, if you have a squall line, and we saw this happen a couple of weeks ago where you have a squall line coming in, and then you can always have embedded tornadoes within a squall line that enhances the damage. And so that is a possibility there with a squall line Sunday night. So this line is going to race southeast overnight, affecting most of the region before midnight. So again, we talked about this. Early rain, early storms Sunday morning. That is a possibility. And so it could limit that instability. But if the skies clear out, then we could expect, again, severe supercells to form and develop with the possibility of tornadoes and large hail. And then we talked about the squall line, straight line damaging wind threat as it'll be moving through. So looking here at my notes here, I took down some notes when I was doing some research, when I was looking into this. So there are some takeaways from this event. So we want to make sure that we stay weather aware all day Sunday. Because again, we have the threat, we have all hazards are in play. You have the tornadoes, you have the large hail, you have straight line damaging wind gust, heavy rain as well. Cannot rule that out. So again, all hazards are in play here. Have multiple ways to receive warnings. You guys remember this a couple of weeks ago when I said, before we had that severe weather event in mid-March. So have multiple ways to receive the warnings, apps, whether radio, TV, social media as well. I'll be live streaming on here Sunday. And also know your safe place. So as I always say, whenever a warning is issued, whether it be severe thunderstorm, whether it be tornado warning, you don't think, you act. And so, preferably a basement or small interior room on the lowest floor. I always say also have a helmet on hand, because if we're talking about a tornado warning, there's a confirmed tornado on the ground, then you want to make sure that you protect your head, because a lot of fatalities from tornadoes are due to blunt force trauma to the head. And again, if a tornado warning is issued, take action immediately. So now this has the potential to be a high impact weather event. So that is those are some of the notes that I've took. Now I'm going to pull this up again here and show you. This is what it looks like for Sunday for those of you that hopped on here. And as you can see, we're underneath the enhanced risk for severe weather. We do have a slight risk outside of our area. But look at this. This is for Sunday. There is another day. This isn't just Sunday that we're looking at here. There is another day following Sunday that we're keeping our eyes on here. It's several days out. So this is going to be an active weather pattern. So I just brought up Sunday. Let me pull up Wednesday for you. And I want to show you the areas that could possibly be affected by this. And you'll notice how they're really about the same. This is Sunday right here. This is Wednesday. So that was Sunday. The one you're currently looking at is Wednesday. So you can definitely see pretty much about the same area is under the gun here for the possibility of severe weather on Wednesday. Just like Sunday, Wednesday, we're already given a 15% of that. Quite a large area, kind of like similar to Sunday. I'll flip it back one more time. Again, that's Sunday. And that's Wednesday. So there are some details about Wednesday. Obviously this has surfaced today. So obviously I'm still looking into it. I don't have much details about it, but obviously it's like you look at how the end of March, it's going to be like a roaring lion. And then early April, which will be April at that point next Wednesday, is going to be roaring as well. So we've got at least two severe weather events. One, starting to see more, conditions are becoming more favorable for Sunday. And then Wednesday, this one just popped up. And so I know forecasters and meteorologists are still analyzing this. but it is something to be mindful of here as we get closer to next Wednesday. So let's break this all down here. As I explained here, so severe weather alert for Sunday again, Southern Illinois, more localized in our region, Southern Illinois, Southeast Missouri, Southwestern Indiana, Western Kentucky. In main threats, we do have the possibility of tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds, 60 to 80 plus. Again, timing of this, morning storms are possible, but the greatest risk is in the afternoon and evening hours, even into the nighttime. So again, for the afternoon, if we have any supercells that develop, then they would carry the higher risk for strong tornadoes, large hail, the evening, night, a squall line, widespread damaging winds. Embedded tornadoes are not out of the question. There could be possible. So be prepared, have multiple ways to receive warnings, and have your severe weather safety plan ready. So that is the breakdown, the severe weather alert for Sunday. And obviously Wednesdays has just surfaced. But if you look at, the here and now, obviously Sunday is going to be the big day for it. So with that in mind, let me see if anyone had any questions in the live chat. If we have anyone, I'm not seeing anyone on the live chat here, asking any questions at all. But again, no, this is an event that we'll have to keep an eye on for Sunday for sure. As again, we do have the enhanced risk for severe weather. I was able to pull it up here. Let me see if I can pull this up here and give me a moment. And while I'm doing that, guys, would like to mention here, some severe weather safety tips, but also let's talk about the emergency preparedness kit first. For those of you that are new and maybe wondering about that, by the way, say hi in the live chat if you guys want to say hi for a moment. But these are the recommended items to include in your weather preparedness kit for the severe weather season. All right, so I'm going to pull up here, and usually I use this for my weather radar here. But we're going to pull this up here, and this is for the severe weather risk for Sunday. This is from the National Weather Service at Paducah. This was just issued, by the way, at 4:36 this afternoon. So this is what we have here. So primary hazards again: large to very large hail, quarter size or larger, damaging wind gusts 60 miles per hour or greater, tornadoes. Again, the timing of this late Sunday afternoon to the early overnight hours. The best guess was 6 o'clock Sunday to 3 a.m. Monday. But again, timing of storms, there is some uncertainty here. Timing of storms may continue to fluctuate, will also depend on development ahead of the main line of storms. Now, the capping here, warmer air aloft, we have seen this cap before in action when it comes to severe weather events. Ahead of the front may limit isolated cell development. If a storm does form, there should be plenty of fuel for the storm to work with, increasing all hazard threats. So, as you can see, the hatched area, the probability of severe weather within 25 miles of a point. So right now at this time, we're in that 30 to 44% probability of severe weather, but the hatched area also has a 10% greater probability of significant severe weather. So again, we are in that 30 to 44% probability for severe weather. And again, we are underneath that enhanced risk for severe weather. The first slide I showed you was about the severe threat level regarding the enhanced. But this is again, for us, a probability of severe weather, again, within 25 miles of a point, 30 to 44% chance of severe weather for Sunday. So at this time here, I'm going to open up for questions, be here for a few minutes anyway. But obviously Sunday is the day to be prepared for. Also, too, for severe thunderstorm safety. As we look here ahead to Sunday, again, hail greater than 1 inch and our winds 58 mile per hour greater. That would be in the severe weather criteria. Okay, go inside a sturdy building on the lowest floor and away from windows. Of course, be cautious of falling trees or down trees in the roadway. It should be harder to see at night. So, again, severe thunderstorm safety here for you. Also, tornado sheltering guidelines here. Seek the best available refuge area immediately when a tornado warning is issued. So again, try to find the good and best options here. Interior room of a well-constructed home or building, a basement. Again, stay in place until the all clear is given. So would also like to mention too, I thought it was great to see going back to a couple of weeks ago when we had that severe weather event where there were businesses that were opening up shelters, for people who may not have a place to go to in the event of severe weather. And I thought that was very encouraging to see. I know that our local EMA was doing. I know some businesses, a few of them in town anyway, who opened their doors and had some snacks and everything like that. I know that was an overnight weather event, and every severe weather event is different. But I tell you what, though, I was encouraged and thrilled to see that. Again, Sunday, given all the hazards that are in play, then we could see that again. So, John, hey, John. Play-by-play severe weather action. Well, thank you, John. I appreciate it. Good to hear from you. And tell Gloria I said hello. And I'll be live streaming Sunday. Really got no plans at all on Sunday, so I should be live streaming there. So, but again, no, folks, can't stress enough how this upcoming weather event. The thing is with this stream that I'm doing here, I know it's a preview, and I know obviously we're just 2 days away from this, but I want you guys to be informed. I want you guys to know what the National Weather Service has been talking about, what Paducah Storm Prediction Center, as there's still some details to be released here. And I'll tell you what, just sharing this information, getting it out there for you, because that way you guys, again, as I said before, and I'll say it again, I'd rather be prepared for severe weather than to be caught off guard and blindsided. So that's the goal with this preview here, as again, we do have the possibility of severe weather for Sunday. Let's see here. Time right now is 7:44. So maybe my watch is a little slow. I think it's a couple minutes slow. 7:46 here. I was looking at my watch. I'll open up here for a couple more minutes here. Then I'm gonna skedaddle on out of here. But again, we're gonna go through some slides here, as again, with this potentially being a nighttime severe weather event. I think the timing of this, one thing I noticed about the timing of this is a little bit different. Because if you recall a couple of weeks ago, it was more like overnight. I feel like with this event here, I feel like it's at least just a few hours ahead of that. So again, late afternoon, evening, nighttime, I don't see this being an overnight threat. But I see this being more, again, that late afternoon, evening, possibly into the nighttime hours, but I don't see it being overnight. So, but again, just something to keep in mind about, as some areas may receive this. We talked about the possibility of supercells forming and then having a squall line come through later on. So for those of you that for nighttime severe weather safety tips, some people may have to go to bed early. They may have to go to work early, Monday morning. So just something to keep in mind about there. And also, as I always say, nighttime tornadoes always dangerous here. So, again, we do have that tornado threat. Again, if it's like during the day, we can see what's going on, but at night, with visibility is so low and it's hard to see that twister, only by way of lightnings and power flashes. So again, make sure you have your weather alerts on and ready in case if a tornado warning is issued at nighttime. Also, understand which NWS office serves you. Again, for Wayne, Edwards, and Wabash, Jefferson, Hamilton, White, Saline, and Gallatin. NWS in Paducah, Clay, Richland, Lawrence. NWS in Lincoln. For Salem over at Marion County, points westward to NWS in St. Louis. All right, so obviously those are the details that I have here at this time. Um, and again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hop here on the chat. Again, this is about where we do have, again, a possibility of severe weather on Sunday. We also have, again, as I showed you guys early on, it's not just Sunday that we're focused on here, but we're also focused on Wednesday. Let me pull up Wednesday again one more time. So this is Wednesday of next week. Obviously, details just emerge about that, and we'll see here, the days ahead, what those details are like. But again, if you notice that you're again on Sunday, just to play this back one more time, but you see right there, that's for Wednesday. You look at Sunday, about almost the same area pretty much. So, but again, we're keeping an eye here on both days. But again, the focus here right now is Sunday, since it's obviously coming up quick. We're just a couple of days away from that. Then we'll turn our attention to Wednesday. So let me see here if there's anyone else in the chat who may have a question or two. But again, thanks guys for tuning in here on this Friday evening. I know there's some basketball going on. I know there's some sports going on. So by the way, my bracket's busted, by the way. So, and also too, by the way, I hope you guys enjoyed. I went to it earlier. So shout out to our rural firemen for the fish fry that they had. I went there during the lunchtime hours. It was fantastic. And so props to those guys. So thankful for our firemen, city and rural, and also our emergency first responders for all that they do for us here locally. I tell you what, we got some great people who do this, and for city and rural, and we're so appreciative of that. So if you guys happen to see them, give them a shout out. Tell them. I always say thank you for what you guys do. Whenever I see an officer, whenever I see someone who works for a fire department or ambulance service, I just want to say thank you for what they all do. So, all right. That about wraps up this live stream here. Again, this is going to be archived as well, so I know I rambled on a little bit here, but want to go ahead and say here again, be weather aware for Sunday. Obviously, we do have details that have emerged. Earlier this week, we knew some things. We didn't know a whole lot. There was a lot of questions that were unanswered, but now these details have come to light, and we have a better understanding of, what could happen on Sunday, what could be expected. And like what I said, this preview is to where you guys are aware of what's going on the latest. And also, that way you guys are prepared. I always say, be safe, be weather aware, be alert for changing weather conditions on Sunday. So with that, gonna end it here. Here on this Friday evening, and I think what day it was here, but I'll tell you what, it's could be a stormy Sunday. Way to end the month of March. But hey, we'll get through it together, guys. We will. Just like a couple weeks ago, we'll get through it. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing it as well, guys. Appreciate you watching on this Friday night. Stay safe, and we'll see you on Sunday. We'll be here, by the way, live streaming. It just depends on, when we see the storms fire up and when they reach our area, our region. So until then, so long. Keep it on my personal Facebook page as well. I'll be sharing updates on there too. So see you.